Hello, this is Dr. Manisha More, and in this video, I'm going to teach you the tuple data type in the Python programming language. So, tuple is the built-in data type in Python programming language. Now, there are various features of the tuple data type. So tuple is the ordered collection of different types of elements. You can store different data types elements into your tuple and its order is fixed. Predefined or specific order you can follow all the elements. Whatever you want to store in your tuple that are ordered means which are stored in a specific order. It has a specific order and tuple elements are the immutable. Immutable का मतलब क्या है? Immutable and mutable. Mutable का मतलब क्या है? The elements once you store in a particular data type that can be modified, that can be deleted, or that can be if you want to insert the new element, you can insert it into the particular sequence. So list, already we have seen the list built-in data type in a Python programming language, and list is the mutable data type, but the tuple is immutable. Immutable का मतलब क्या है? Vice versa of the mutable. Once you have created your sequence, the elements from the sequence cannot be modified, cannot be changed. It is called a immutable data type. And all the element that you want to store in your tuple data type that is stored within the pair of parentheses, that is simple bracket, and each individual element is separated with the help of comma. So these are some features that you can write if the question is asked on the tuple. Write short note on the tuple, so you can write the basic feature of the tuple data type, and then you can write the simple programs and different built-in functions, how you can apply the various functions on the tuple data type to perform the operations. So now we will see here the simple syntax to create the tuple and store the element into the tuple data type. So you can see here, I have declared one variable, name of this variable is tuple1, and I have created the tuple in this way. So simple pair of parentheses you can use to store the element into your tuple data type, and all the elements are separated with the help of comma. So you can see here three numeric data items are stored in my tuple, and all these three elements I have separated it with the comma. And then simply I have displayed my tuple. So you can see here, this is the tuple. Another example you can see here. So already I have mentioned that the tuple in the tuple, it is a sequence and which can be used to store the different types of data items. So you can see here integer data items I have stored, float data item I have stored, and one data item is there that is called a string data item. So in this way also you can create your tuple and you can store the different types of data items into your tuple. And then just I have displayed my tuple and you can see the output of my tuple. So this is the tuple. All the elements are enclosed in simple pair of parentheses and each element is separated with the help of comma. So this is the another example. Now we will see the different built-in functions that we can apply on our tuple data type to perform the different tasks. So first we will see the count function. So the count function is going to return you the total count of the element. So it will return the count of a specified element that you will pass into the count function. For example, you can see here I have created my tuple. The name of tuple is my tuple, and some random element I have stored in my tuple. And then in on the tuple, on my tuple, I have applied the count function, and in the parenthesis of count I have passed the value 8. So now compiler will search this value in the sequence of my tuple, and if it is fine then it will display the total count of of that particular value. If it get that particular value does not find in the sequence, then it will return the 0. So you can see here I have passed 8 as a value in the count function, and I want to search that count of that 8 value or this element in my sequence, but you can see here 8 is not present in my tuple, so it has returned. The count function has returned the 0. We can change the value. I'm writing now 5 and I want to select the 5. So how many times this 5 is occurred in my tuple, in my sequence, the count function will return the total count. So you can see here one time, second time, third time, fourth time, and fifth time. So total 5 times this 5 is occurred, so it has returned the 5. In this way, you can use the count function, and this function will return the count of a specified element in your tuple. Now, next function is index function. So index function will return the index of a particular element from your tuple. But if your element from your sequence is occurred multiple times, in that case, the index function will return the index of that element which is occurred very first. सबसे पहले जो occurrence है उसका ही इंडेक्स वो दे देगा. बाद में जितने भी टाइम्स वो सेम इलेमेंट ऑकर हुआ है उसका इंडेक्स वो बिल्कुल रिटर्न नहीं करेगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू कैन सी हियर I have created my tuple and then I have applied the index function on my tuple and I have passed the value 7. So I want to see the 7 on which index the 7 is occurred. But you can see here 7 is occurred multiple times in your tuple. So in this case, the index function will return only the index of the 7 which is occurred very first. So this index you can see 1 is occurred at 0th index, 2 is occurred at first index, 3 is occurred at second index, then third index, fourth index, fifth index, sixth index, and seventh index. So the 7 value, 7 element is occurred at the 7th index and it has returned the 7. So you have to remember, for example, we can change here. So I am writing here 1. So 1 is occurred only one time. So it will return the 0 index. So it has returned the 0 index. If one occurred multiple times, for example, I am writing here 1 again, I am writing 1 here. So how many times 1 is occurred? I think 4 times 1 is occurred and I want to check the index of 1. So in this case, if your element from your list, it is occurred multiple times and you want to see the index of that element, then index function will return only the index of very first occurrence of that element that you have to remember. So it has returned the index of the 0th index. On the 0th index the first the element is occurred, but on the last index, second last index, and third last index also that same element is occurred, it has not returned the index. So this is the use of index function. Now next is the len function. So len function is used to return the total size or number of elements stored in your tuple. So I have applied the len function. So I have used the len function and in the parenthesis of len function, I have passed my tuple. So compiler will search the total number of elements from my tuple and it will return the total count. So each and every element will be counted and then it will return the total number of elements. So len function will return the number of elements in your tuple. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So total 16 elements are there in my tuple and this function has returned the total length or total number of elements stored in my tuple. Next function is sorted function. So sorted function is used to sort the sequence, the elements stored in your tuple. You can sort your tuple elements in ascending order or descending order. For example, यहाँ पे देखिए मैंने मेरा टपल क्रिएट किया है. Then I have applied the sorted function. This process I am going to store in one another variable. So sorting process I have stored in one another variable and then I will display my sorting order. So यहाँ पे देखिए मैंने sorted function use किया है. So these all are the built-in function. Built-in functions are predefined and precompiled function. We can use this function to perform a specific task. So sorted function, in the function in parenthesis I have passed my tuple as a argument, and then I have used one another method that is called reverse. So you can see here reverse is equal to 1 when you use this, then and when you will execute your code. So reverse is equal to 1 का मतलब क्या है? All the element will be displayed in the descending order. And if you use reverse is equal to 0, then all the element from your tuple will be displayed in the ascending order. So if you want to display the Okay. So by default, in Python, by default, the sorted order is the ascending order. You can see here I have removed this method, reverse method I have removed, and just I have passed the sort my tuple into the sorted function. And then by default, the sorted function has displayed the sequence or the order of my tuple is into the ascending order. But now I want to display my tuple into the descending order. So for that purpose, you have to use additional method that is called a reverse is equal to 0. So reverse is equal to 0 means again it will display in the ascending order, and reverse is equal to 1 means it will display your sequence into the descending order. So this is the output you can see here 33, 22, and in this way in the descending order I have displayed my tuple into the descending order by using the one another method that is called reverse is equal to 1. But by default, the sorted function will sort your element into the ascending order. And if you want to display your tuple into the descending order, then additional method you have to use that is called a reverse is equal to 1. So this is about the sorted function. Next function is max function. So max function is used to display the maximum value from your tuple. You can see here in my tuple, the maximum value is 50, and in the max function, I have passed my tuple as an argument. So compiler will search each and every value from my tuple, and it will find the maximum value and it will return the maximum value. So this is the use of max function, which is used to return or to display the maximum value from your sequence tuple. जैसे कि मैक्स हम वैल्यू फाइंड कर सकते हैं, उसी तरह से मिनिमम वैल्यू भी हम देख सकते हैं. कौन सी वैल्यू मिनिमम है? तो इस सीक्वेंस में आप देख सकते हैं 0 is the minimum value, and I have applied the min function, and in the parenthesis of min I have passed whole tuple, and now compiler will search the minimum value, and compiler will return the minimum value. Compiler will display the minimum value on the screen. So 0 is the minimum value. Okay. So in this way, you can use the tuple data type, and you can apply the various functions on the tuple data type, and you can perform the various operations along with the simple operations on the tuple. Now this cell I have created to perform some operation on your tuple. Okay, some numeric operation I want to perform on my tuple. So how it is possible to perform the numeric operation? For example, I have created my tuple and in my tuple you can see some numeric values are there and one string value is there, and I want to perform the addition of all the values stored in my tuple, but addition is not possible on to the string value, so I have to use one another method to exclude the string value and to perform the addition of remaining all numeric value. So I want to perform the addition, so I have initialized the variable sum is equal to 0. Okay, then I have displayed my tuple. So simply I have displayed my original tuple. You can see in the result original tuple I have displayed. Why I have used the sum is equal to 0? So initial value of sum I have initialized it with the 0, and then the sum variable I am going to use in the loop to add each and every element into the sum variable. Okay. Then I have applied the loop on my tuple. So tuple is the sequence, many element you can store into the tuple, and all the elements are stored on the different indices. So you have to access the element, you have to access it through its index. So for that purpose, I have used the I variable, and through this variable will help you in each iteration to search the element, and this element is going to add into the sum variable. But after searching this element, for example, first element will be searched by the compiler. After searching this element, then one condition I have used here in the program, if is instance. So is instance is the function, built-in function, which is used in the parenthesis of this is instance function. I have used two different argument. First argument is the variable which hold the individual value from your sequence, and second variable is the type of that variable. So which value you have to hold, the type of that value you have to define to the compiler. So I want to hold that value into the I variable, and that value will be only the integer. So I want to take all the integer values from my sequence, and then I will perform the sum. ओके, सो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं। सो कंडीशन मैंने दे दिया है कंपाइलर को कि जो वैल्यू आपको मेरे सीक्वेंस में लेना है, सर्च करना है, वो वैल्यू ओनली विल बी द इंटीजर वैल्यू. Okay, so now compiler will search each individual value from all the indices whose data type is index. Okay, and after getting the integer value, ओके, जैसे ही कंपाइलर को इंटीजर वैल्यू मिलेगी, इमीडिएटली मैंने और एक कंडीशन यहाँ पे दिया है, जैसे ही वो इंटीजर वैल्यू, सबसे पहले कौन सी इंटीजर वैल्यू उसको मिलेगी, तो ये जीरोथ इंडेक्स पे वन स्टोर है, ये मिलेगा. सो वन को मैं डिवाइड करूंगी टू से. वन अनदर कंडीशन आई हैव गिवन हियर, वन को मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, टू से डिवाइड कर रही हूँ. वन को क्यों? क्योंकि फर्स्ट वैल्यू ऑन जीरोथ इंडेक्स माई वैल्यू इज वन. सो उसको मैं दो से डिवाइड करूंगी. अगर उसके डिवीजन का रिमाइंडर एग्जैक्टली इक्वल टू जीरो आता है, ये कंडीशन मैं यहाँ पे एक इंस्ट्रक्शन में कंपाइलर को दे रही हूँ. अगर डिवीजन का रिमाइंडर जीरो आता है, देन that number or that element I want to print on the screen. So ये देखिए, तो ये दो, टू, फोर, सिक्स, ये नंबर प्रिंट हो गए. वन क्यू प्रिंट नहीं होगा, हो गया इन फर्स्ट इटरेशन व्हेन इट फाइंड द फर्स्ट नंबर, बट रिमाइंडर इज नॉट एग्जैक्टली इक्वल टू जीरो, दैट्स व्हाई compiler will not print that number. So compiler and that number is not going to store into some variable also. Okay, so my program is, I want to search the integer value, then I want to divide that integer with the 2 or by the 2, and if the division of the remainder of this division is 0, then that number I want to print on the screen, and same number will be added into the sum variable. So first condition become false because ये remainder ही नहीं आ रहा है 0, तो ये नंबर प्रिंट नहीं होगा और ये नंबर सब में ऐड भी नहीं होगा. तो इसी तरह से इन सेकेंड इटरेशन में चला जाएगा कंपाइलर। सेकेंड इटरेशन में सेकेंड फर्स्ट इंडेक्स पे जो वैल्यू है वो ले लेगा, वो इंटीजर है क्या देखेगा, क्योंकि हमने कंडीशन दे दिया है इफ इट इज इंटीजर देन ओनली इट विल बी इंक्लूडेड। अगर इंटीजर मिलती है सो ये इंटीजर है, दो टू वैल्यू इज इंटीजर वैल्यू, तो यहाँ पे कंपाइलर आएगा नेक्स्ट कंडीशन में। अभी कंपाइलर क्या करेगा, चेक करेगा आई मोड टू, मतलब आई क्या है, अभी हो गया है दो, हो गया है दो को दो से डिवाइड करने के बाद रिमाइंडर एग्जैक्टली इक्वल टू जीरो आ रहा है, तो दो क्या हो जाएगा, प्रिंट हो जाएगा। कंडीशन ट्रू है तो वो प्रिंट करेगा, तो यहाँ पे आउटपुट पे देखिए ये दो प्रिंट हो गया। प्रिंट होने के बाद अभी क्या करेगा वो, इमीजिएटली वो सम में ऐड करेगा। सम में पहले क्या था, सम इज इक्वल टू जीरो इनिशियलाइज हमने यहाँ पे किया है, देखिए सम इज इक्वल टू जीरो किया है। यहाँ पे हम क्या कर रहे हैं, अभी सम इज इक्वल टू सम प्लस आई कर रहे हैं। आई क्या है, दो है, आई क्या है, दो है, और सम क्या था, इनिशियल जीरो था, तो जीरो प्लस टू इज इक्वल टू क्या हो जाएगा, टू। अगेन दैट टू विल बी स्टोर्ड इनटू दिस सम वेरिएबल, एंड सम बाद में लास्ट में आफ्टर ऑल इटरेशन दिस सम विल बी डिस्प्ले ऑन द स्क्रीन। अभी नेक्स्ट इटरेशन में कंपाइलर क्या करेगा, नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट को सर्च करेगा, वो देखेगा है क्या वो इंटीजर, अगर इंटीजर है कंडीशन ट्रू हो रही है तो अगेन वो क्या करेगा, दो से डिवाइड करेगा। दो से डिवाइड करने के बाद वो देखेगा इफ द रिमाइंडर ऑफ द डिवीजन इज एग्जैक्टली इक्वल टू जीरो, देन क्या करेगा, उस नंबर को प्रिंट करेगा। तो कंडीशन फॉल्स हो रही है क्योंकि थ्री को टू से डिवाइड करने के बाद रिमाइंडर जीरो नहीं आएगा, तो ये प्रिंट भी नहीं करेगा। देखिए यहाँ पे प्रिंट नहीं किया है, और वो एग्जैक्टली इक्वल टू जीरो ये नहीं हो रहा है, इसलिए वो सम वेरिएबल में ऐड भी नहीं करेगा। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट इटरेशन में चला जाएगा। अभी नेक्स्ट इटरेशन में उसको मिलेगा नेक्स्ट नंबर फोर है, फोर इंटीजर है क्या, ये कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई हो जाएगी, वो इंटीजर है। फिर से और एक कंडीशन वो देखेगा, अगर फोर को टू से डिवाइड करने के बाद उसका रिमाइंडर जीरो आता है क्या, तो हमें पता है कि फोर को टू से डिवाइड करने के बाद रिमाइंडर जीरो आ रहा है, तो अभी ये क्या करेगा, इट विल प्रिंट द आई। आई मतलब नेक्स्ट वैल्यू जो मिली है हमें, ये चार, चार को प्रिंट करेगा, तो ये प्रिंट हो गए यहाँ पे देखिए। एंड जैसे ही प्रिंट करेगा वो ऐड करेगा, तो प्रीवियस इटरेशन में सम की वैल्यू क्या थी, दो थी, दो में अभी ये चार मिल गया, कितना हो गया, छह हो गया, सो सिक्स इज स्टोर्ड इनटू दी सम वेरिएबल। नाउ एंड हो गया क्या, सीक्वेंस, सीक्वेंस का एंड नहीं हो गया है, अभी और एलिमेंट बाकी है। तो इस तरह से क्या करेगा वो कंपाइलर, ईच एंड एवरी वैल्यू को वो ले लेगा, इंटीजर है क्या चेक करेगा, अगर इंटीजर है तो दो से डिवाइड करेगा, दो से डिवाइड करने के बाद अगर उसका रिमाइंडर जीरो आता है देन उसको प्रिंट करेगा, प्रिंट करने के बाद उसको उसको सम में ऐड करेगा। इसी तरह से वो इटरेशन, हर एक इटरेशन में प्रोसेस चलती रहेगी। सो इटरेशन इज नथिंग बट दी स्टेटमेंट और द ग्रुप ऑफ स्टेटमेंट दैट विल बी एग्जीक्यूटेड अगेन एंड अगेन until कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई, दिस इज द यूज ऑफ लूप। अभी सेवन के बाद वो देखेगा, क्या देखेगा, हेलो देखेगा। सो हेलो देखेगा, मिलेगा, एक और एलिमेंट उसको मिलेगा हेलो, लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या हो रही है, कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई नहीं हो रही है। हमने क्या देख दिया है उसको, उसको बोला है कि अगर इंटीजर है तो वो ले लो, अगर इंटीजर है तो नेक्स्ट कंडीशन चेक हो जाएगी, लेकिन इधर ही कंडीशन फॉल्स हो रही है, देखिए इस इंस्ट्रक्शन में ही कंडीशन फॉल्स हो रही है, तो नेक्स्ट वाले इंस्ट्रक्शन में कंपाइलर जाएगा ही नहीं। फिर से और एक इटरेशन हो जाएगा। अभी इसके बाद है क्या एलिमेंट, इसके बाद एक भी एलिमेंट नहीं है, हेलो ही लास्ट एलिमेंट था, तो लूप अभी क्या हो जाएगा, इटरेशन स्टॉप हो जाएगा क्योंकि एंड ऑफ सीक्वेंस हो गया। और फाइनली इसमें जो कुछ भी एलिमेंट स्टोर हो गए सम वेरिएबल में, ये हमें सम डिस्प्ले हो जाएगा। तो ये आउटपुट में आप देखिए, देख सकते हैं ओरिजिनल टपल को डिस्प्ले कर दिया है। देन हमने क्या फाइंड आउट किया, even number को find out किया, and we have displayed here sum of all that even numbers. So in this way you can perform some operations on your tuple. So यहाँ पे आपको ध्यान देना है, अगर आपका टपल डिफरेंट टाइप्स डेटा एलिमेंट्स से स्टोर है, देन यू हैव टू गिव द इंस्ट्रक्शन टू द कंपाइलर दैट you want to take the individual data item or the element from your tuple which is of a specific data type. So मैं यहाँ पे ले रही हूँ इंटीजर, एंड इंटीजर डेटा आइटम से ही मैं क्या करूंगी, उसको ले लूंगी और आगे का ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म करोगे. So this is the simple program on your tuple. So first tuple is created, then I have used the loop to search each and every individual data item or element stored in the tuple. Then I have given the instruction to the compiler to search the element which data type is only the integer. Then again I have given one another instruction, if the data item is integer, then divide it by 2 and check the remainder is 0. If the remainder is 0, then I have printed that element, and then again that element I have stored into the sum element, and in this way now at the end I have displayed the sum of all numeric items which are even items, and I have displayed the sum of all numeric even data items from my tuple. So in this way, you can perform the different operations on your tuple data type. Thank you so much.